all that decent food I'll never eat again. Stop being so dramatic. Mush is acceptable. I have something for you. I used the illuminator on one of those strange areas on the surface, and it revealed some sort of plants, but not real, living plants. More like a projection of another dimension that became visible to me. Keep going. I followed their path and found something that could have been their core. And when I used the illuminator on it, I found some interesting specimens. Really? Specimens from the interval. Did you secure them properly? Of course. I have to take them to my lab immediately. Let me study them thoroughly. Jan, this is beyond my wildest dreams. A whole new area of research wide open before me. Before us.
I'm done here. Should I do this now?
rid of you.
So, do you have time for a little job evaluation?
You wanted to talk? No. I wanted to beat the shit out of you. Quit playing around and get me a fucking bed, man. How hard can it be?
Jan Dolsky. Finally. I've been impatient to meet you.
Yeah, sure. You that big fish Lucas was mumbling about?
Terrence Maxwell. But yes, I am both his and your superior at mining operations. First of all, my heartfelt condolences. Losing the whole crew must have been hard on you.
Yeah. Still can't get over it.
Their families have been informed. They're grief-stricken, as you can imagine. But the deaths of their loved ones will go down in history as part of a pioneering discovery. Your discovery.
So, do people know I found rubidium?
We're keeping the news within a very limited circle. It's only wise for the time being.
Limited circle, huh? Bullshit. The public has a right to know about such things.
I like your passion, Jan. You're an honest man. But you're under enough pressure already. We don't need the media to go berserk or the stock market to overreact. We don't need chaos down here while all our efforts should concentrate on supporting you up there. Your task is difficult enough, and failure is not an option.
That's why you had me create my altars? You'd rather let me lose my mind than lose the Rapidium?
It was a long shot, I admit. But we were saving both. Rapidium and you, Jan. Do you think it was a mistake?
No. I'm glad I did it.
You certainly have a chance to experience something extraordinary. Many people would envy you.
Let's just get one thing straight, Maxwell. I know you expect things of me, but I'm no hero.
Ah, heroism. Are you familiar with the works of Albert Camus?
Albert who?
A great writer and philosopher. Camus believed heroism was easy, accessible. For him, it was living a normal man's life that was a true challenge. Being decent. Doing the right thing. You are the first person to prove that we can actually excavate Rapidium in quantities that can really make a difference. A dream the biggest corporations have been chasing for over a decade now, constantly failing. You say you're not a hero? Well, maybe I don't need you to be one. Maybe you should just carry on being a decent man, Jan Dulski.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad. Thanks.
Of course, I would lie to you if I said your work is done. You've probably noticed how different Rapidium looks in reality than on the training materials they showed you.
Why is that?
It changes form constantly. Its chemical structure is so volatile that it is almost impossible to capture two particles in the same state. A fleeting substance. Spectacular. But also very unstable.
How come it works then?
Not enough tests were run to explain that. The only sample ever found in space was researched inside a mobile base like your own, but it never made it back.
So, you're afraid the Rapidium I found might not was... You mean like a box?
Construct...
Sounds like a big task. I should get to it straight away.
It is a big task, Jan, but it's worth every effort. I hope you realize the gravity of the moment.
I thought you said you didn't want to put pressure on me.
You're right. Lucas said you had questions. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
No. I'm good.
Then we only have one more issue to clear.
What's that?
You can trust me and Lucas completely. But if anyone else contacts you, it's absolutely vital you don't tell them anything about the existence of your altars.
Why?
You know very well why, Jan. The law has been violated.
I thought Lucas said the branching was authorized.
You haven't been listening. There are no procedures for this sort of situation. There is no one who can officially authorize such an act. At the end of the day, it was your decision to branch yourself. It will be in your best interest to keep that in mind when considering the consequences.
I don't like the sound of this.
Rapidium Arc, Jan. That's what you should focus on right now. Your secret is safe with me and Lucas. Once you come back with a remedy for Earth's ailments, nobody will think of punishing you for how you got it. Remember, just do the right thing. Now, I really have to go, but it was a pleasure talking to you, and we will talk more, I promise. Until then.
Jan, can you come see me? There's a thing.
It's over. We made it.
Would you like me to address that?
You wanted to talk? Yeah, the magnetic storm. Quite a ride, huh? Tell me about it. Glad we're out of it. For good, I hope. Hope is the mother of fools. If you ask me, it looks like recurring magnetic storms might be a thing around here. We should think about how to prepare in case another one hits us. Any ideas? Actually, yes. Tell me.
Well, it's pretty obvious that during emergencies, the base relies heavily on existing supplies, right?
Right?
That means we could use a smarter way to manage our production, to make sure we have a stable backup of all the crucial stuff.
That would be nice.
Well, listen to this. I found something in the manuals. A procedure we could set up. It's called Uphold Production. It lets you choose any item you want to produce. Let's say a radiation filter, and establish the amount of it you always want to have at the ready. Whenever you have less items on stock than you need, new ones will be queued for production automatically. Just like that.
Huh. That sounds like it could spare us a lot of micromanagement.
Exactly. Try it out and maybe we won't die because someone forgot to make mush.
Hey, I built that dormitory you asked for.
Hallelujah.
I hope you sleep well tonight.
I'll sleep like a full-fledged member of an advanced civilization.
Sweet dreams, then.
Do you have time for a little job evaluation?
Hey, you wanted to discuss something? Yeah. I want to know when you started being such a pushover. What? You heard me. I'm not blind. I can see the workload pile up. And you, eager to take new orders. Well, I'm not exactly in the best negotiating position. Using illegal technology to save my life, creating my altars. I'd better have a good justification for that. So they're threatening you. Even better. Like I said, I don't have much choice. Maxwell's in charge here. Yeah, so is Dad. The man of the house. I thought you regretted not standing up to him. Looks like you didn't learn much. That's a little below the belt. You're right. Sorry, this place is getting to me. All I'm saying is, we should do something just for ourselves. Something not work-related, not productive in any way. Like what? Well, there's a social room module available in this base. We could start with that. I bet it has a beer pong table. Yeah, see? A smile on your face. Let's build a place where we can chill out and play beer pong, and then, after I've beaten you, we can talk more serious stuff. What do you say? Maybe later, when there's time. Yeah. After you finish running errands for Maxwell. Look what I found. Any idea what it could be? Let's see. It looks like a qubit chip.
Qubit chip.
Yeah. Like an enhanced storage for quantum computing operations. It could be useful for increasing the efficiency of our QC unit. Not to mention accessing new tech in the research lab.
It looks broken.
Perceptive. A little. Gotcha.
Hello, Dulski here.
Jan, tell me you did it. Tell me you have the Ark.
I did it.
Well done. Now, all we need to do is bring it home safely. Are you making progress with that obstacle of yours?
I'm still looking for a way out.
Oh, I don't want to cause panic. You better hurry.
I'm gonna need your help.
What can I do for you?
I need blueprints for superconductive bridge anchors from Project Versant.
Versant? But how do you know about that?
My scientist Alter told me.
A scientist? Really? And one familiar with aborted scientific programs unknown to the public?
Aborted? Are you sure?
Yes. Project Versant was terminated years ago due to lack of satisfactory results.
But my scientist said they developed some tech.
My word. Are you saying that he thinks it still exists? That's fascinating. Your scientist must have been part of it somehow. And in his reality, the program was a success. That's amazing, Jan. You do understand what I'm saying, right?
All I'm hearing is that you don't have my blueprints.
No, I'm sorry. They simply don't exist. But there is still something we can do.
What's that?
I have an idea. It's a long shot, but it might be all we have. Project Versen did leave behind unfinished drafts. Crisscrossed formulae, discarded calculations, the usual scribbles of a scientific stream of consciousness at work. For what it's worth, I'll ask Lucas to send it over to your terminal. Maybe that resourceful altar of yours can put it to good use.
Oh, okay. It's better than nothing, I guess.
I have to say, Jan, I'm beginning to see more and more potential in this situation of yours. I hope we speak soon. Good luck, as always.
we don't get the base moving soon, the sun will get to us. And believe me, this tin can will offer zero protection.
So, I have news about the anchor blueprints you asked for?
I certainly hope so, because I just saw something come in from mining ops, and it looks like a bad joke. Did you precisely ask for bridge anchor blueprints? Of course I did, but this is all that bunch of amateurs was able to give us. Random odds and ends of unfinished research? I find that hard to believe. This looks more like the musings of a madman than serious work. No. Give me the real thing. I'm not touching this parody of a prototype. Well, you'll have to give it all you've got, because you're not getting anything else. So get to work now, or we're all screwed.
Hey man, I think we're running out of food.
Rid of
Functionality. Welcome to the safer evacuation.
You better watch your best.
Losing? What were you arguing about? Nothing. He's just oversensitive and can't handle a little bit of constructive feedback. Really? You're wasting time on quarreling when there's so much work to do? I agree. It's ridiculous. Can I get back to it then? Is there a problem? Listen, Jan, we're fed up with your mistakes. What do you mean, fed up? What is this? Morale is at an all-time low. You need to reevaluate your priorities or else. What exactly do you want me to improve? Are you ready to deal with your whole crew being ill or injured? Don't bother answering. You aren't. Build an infirmary, stat. I hear you. I'll do what I can.
Did you manage to recreate the blueprints?
Believe it or not, I did.
Amazing job. I'm proud of you.
No, you're not. You're just relieved. We'll be screwed if you don't do it, remember? Anyway, now it's all down to getting those anchors in place. You'll need a specific type of superconductive polymer to build them.
More work. Great.
I choose to be deaf to your sarcasm.
So, where do I get these polymers from?
They can be produced in a refinery. Good thing you already built one. You can set up production at once. Let me warn you, it's a time-consuming process, so you'd better step on it. Otherwise, we're screwed.
Okay, I get it. You can let it go now. Hey there, buddy. How do you feel? Been better, that's for sure. Oh, what is this place? And shit. Who are you?
Don't worry, not an illusion. There's a perfectly rational explanation to this. Just let me ask you some control questions first, okay?
Sure. Fire away.
Do you remember your name?
Yeah. Jan. Dolsky.
And what's your role on this mission?
I'm a refinery operator. Oh, you look like me, but also not like me. Are we brothers or something?
We're much more than that, genetically speaking. We're the same person.
Genetically speaking. Whatever you're trying to tell me, stop beating around the bush, okay?
All right then. You're my alter. I created you with the use of rapidium.
Rapidium?
Yeah, we did it. It's here.
Wow. You hear that, Ben?
Ben? What Ben?
Huh? Oh, never mind. Hey, wait. What was that you said about creating me?
Look, you've obviously still not recovered from the shock. Why don't you rest a little and read the mission logs? They'll put it in perspective. We can talk more when the meds wear off.
The meds. Yeah, that explains a lot. Not everything, but I feel like there's something more to this feeling of being so light, weak, you know?
Just relax and take it slow. You'll feel stronger in no time.
Okay, yeah. Maybe. And hell, I can't wait to see Rapidium.
You will soon. I promise. this while you're scheduling repairs?
Dangerously low on repair kits. Take a look there? Should I resolve this?